Why do you need to stop stretching for mid-back pain? Let's face it, we've all been there where there's that nagging pain in the middle of your back, and no matter how much you sit up straight, foam roll, or stretch it, it maybe feels better for a little bit, but those symptoms always come back. In this video, we're going to show you some simple and effective exercises and stretches to help mobilize your upper back and improve the posture muscles to really get this fixed in a permanent capacity. My name is Dr. Zach Good here at Performance Sport and Spine in Seattle, Washington. When we're talking about our mid-back, we're talking about our thoracic spine, this part of the spine where your rib cage attaches. And it's really stiff. So when we sit at the computer like we all do, this part gets stiff. Well, that makes us want to either sit up straight or push our shoulders back. But you're really only addressing the low back there or the shoulders. You're really missing where the symptoms are. These exercises and mobilizations are going to help mobilize the part that's actually stiff, as well as strengthen these posture muscles on the back. For the first exercise, you're going to need a lightweight PT band. So in a kneeling position with your inside leg down, we're going to have our inside arm against the wall holding the band. With some light tension, we're going to mobilize and rotate through our upper back, keeping our eyes on our moving hand, and then return to a starting position. Make sure to feel the movement in your upper back and the mobility. And again, we're going to follow our hand with our head and go to about 90 degrees, but make sure that motion is to your upper back. Then switching directions, we'll repeat on the opposite side. Same motion, bring your arm to 90, return to the starting position, and making sure to feel tension in the middle back and upper spine. Next one's in that same kneeling position. We're gonna have our inside arm fully straight, keeping our other hand supported on our knee, and then we're gonna do a big arc rainbow all the way back to 180 degrees, keeping our eye on our moving hand, pause, and then return to the starting position. As you're doing this, really try to reach out as far as you can with your hand, and you wanna make sure you feel that mobility and movement in your upper back, not your low back. And then switching directions and positions, we're gonna do a left arm, so reaching far forward, a big sweeping arch, reaching as high to the ceiling as you can, come all the way back, making sure to follow your hand, and then return to the starting position. The wall press through. So for this one, we're gonna have our arms against the wall with our elbows fully straight. And then we're gonna press our head through our shoulders. And once we're there, we're gonna lift our upper back and mid back up towards the ceiling and hold. Again, when you're doing this, you don't wanna round and press through. You wanna keep your back as straight as you can. And then when you get to as far as you can go, you wanna press up and hold while maintaining tension into the wall. And in face pull. So here's a little trick. If you don't have somewhere to anchor it, tie a knot in the band, and then you're gonna open the door, spread the band apart, put the knot behind the door, and then close the door. With this one, we wanna have our elbows straight with tension. You're gonna pull up towards your shoulders, feeling tension in your middle back, and then return to the starting position. Make sure to keep the elbows in line with your wrists, and as you're doing this, make sure to keep your head tall. So think someone's pulling on a string. You don't want to bend over when you do it. So think nice and tall, pull, tension that middle back, and then return to the starting position. Another great exercise is the goblet squat. And when we hold the weight in front, what happens is when our arms are like this, it automatically helps us extend or press our upper back upright, which is exactly what we want to do to help keep that mobility and that good posture. So with this, you're going to have a light weight. We prefer a bench or a box to start on, and then in a good squat stance, you're gonna sit down and stand up. And as you hold this weight, you're gonna feel that tension right where you want it to be, and it's gonna help both mobilize as well as strengthen that area. These next exercises are to strengthen those traps between your shoulder blades, and all they require is either a bench or a floor and your arms. The first one is a prone T. So laying face down with your arms straight, make thumbs towards the ceiling, lift your arms straight up towards the wall, pinching your shoulder blades, hold for a sec, and return to the starting position. If this is too difficult, you can place your hands on your head and repeat the same motion. Prone V. Again, laying face down with your arms fully straight and your thumbs pointing toward the ceiling. You're gonna lift your shoulder blades up towards the ceiling, feeling tension in your upper and middle traps. Again, if this is too challenging, you can slightly bend your arms, making a shorter lever, and then repeat the motion. Prone A's. Laying face down with your arms to your side, make fists. You're gonna press your hands and arms up towards the ceiling, squeezing your shoulder blades. You should feel tension in your middle and lower traps. Return to the starting position. Make sure to keep your elbows straight in the motion through your shoulders and shoulder blades. Again, some people may not want to lay face down and don't feel comfortable or prefer to use bands, so we'll show you the prone A's, T's, and V's with a band. So what you need is a lightweight resistance band. You're going to anchor it to something like a doorknob, and then getting some mild tension, we're going to pull our arms back, perpendicular, squeeze our shoulder blades, keep our elbows straight, and again, keep your arms about shoulder height and bring them in line with your shoulders. So that's the T's. The V's, bringing them up. Now this one's more challenging, so don't try to go all the way back, but just pull to feel good tension, and then increase over time. And then lastly, the A's. So again, bringing them down into an A formation, keeping your elbows straight. Now this you want to feel in the lower traps, and you might also feel some tension on the back of the upper arms over the tricep area. Now this may seem a little counterintuitive when I tell you, but walking is an amazing exercise for help reducing your back stiffness. And this is because it helps with general health, increases range of motion, and blood flow. And this recent research paper found that people that walked more than 130 minutes per week had a 48% reduced chance of reoccurrence, a 23% reduced chance of physical activity limitation, and they sought medical care 43% less. And it's only 130 minutes. That's about 20 minutes per day. And this is incredibly important for people that walk less than 2,500 steps per week. Now, some strategies to help you walk more is maybe take a 5-minute walk in the morning and then build from there. Maybe when you park at the grocery store, try to park farther out and walk, but often finding small changes and then building over time. But I can't tell you how important this is. If you have stiffness and you're not walking very much, you gotta start walking. Probably more than anything I've told you in this video, just start walking and start feeling better. Thank you for watching our video on mid-back pain. Here's some effective ways to both give you temporary relief and long-term improvement. If you find this video helpful, please like it and subscribe to our channel.